Should Christians cuss, curse, or say bad words? The Bible teaches us that one of the most powerful and harmful things we can do is based on what we say. We can use words to either uplift someone or destroy someone. So the Bible is always teaching us to be aware of what we say to ourselves and to others. And if we simplify that, we just use the phrase, speak life instead of death. We can use words to uplift others, motivate, inspire, or spew hatred and judgment, demean, condescend, demoralize somebody. So where does cursing come into play? In everything that we do, we have to actually think about these things for ourselves and what the implications are. So the Bible, or being a Christian, is not about following a bunch of rules. It's about coming up with your own values and why you believe that. So when you're thinking about this topic of like, oh, should I curse? If you're just saying, well, I'm not gonna curse because the Bible said I shouldn't curse. Well, now, if the Bible said it's not a sin to curse, will you curse? Oh, now, let's see. Do I wanna curse or not? Like, why are we doing things just because the Bible says it's a sin or not? Why don't we come up with our own values about how we want to live our lives and how we want to present ourselves? Growing up in the church, even during my rebellious days, I didn't curse much. And let's define what that is. That type of person who says the F word every other word type of thing. That was never me. So I did have a goal before. When I've noticed that I cursed too much for my own liking, I wanted to change that behavior. I do not curse anymore, but I would say I have caught myself if I'm in a shocking position, right? Like almost getting into an accident because somebody cut me and it's like, oh my goodness, and it just comes out, right? So it does happen. I am not perfect, but in day-to-day conversation, it doesn't come up unless I choose to intentionally use that word. And you can hear me on stream saying, I'm using this word to emphasize what I'm saying. And one part of it I would say is mindfulness. Why are we using this word instead of that word? So being mindful of what you're saying, instead of saying that as a filler or as an adjective. There are other words you could use that would not alienate people. And if we are to use words to speak life, then that would be better. And sometimes expressing how you feel with words is more effective than using a blatant F you, right? It could mean anything. Just like, I am displeased with why you said that and what you said or how you treated me. It is anything under the umbrella, as opposed to, when you said that, this is how I felt. And I would appreciate it if you would treat me with more respect. It is more effort for sure. It is more words and more effort. So maybe it's not as dramatic as the other way of doing it. So that's one. Cursing, cussing, or using bad words is based on the intention we have behind those words. If our intention is to harm another person, to call them names, to be hateful towards them, then that is not okay. If our intention is to emphasize something that we're talking about, then that may be okay. Number two, how do people see you when you cuss and you use these words? Different cultures have different way of viewing things. And we can't really guarantee that we're always going to be presenting to one culture because we are multicultural now. We are in a global scale. We are all connected via social media. And so we have to really be cognizant about what we're trying to say and how we're trying to convey it. So how do people perceive you? Of course, we can't really control how people perceive us, but it's really important as Christians to showcase that you are a Christ follower. And if you're the type of person who curses a lot, who uses bad words, does that seem like somebody who is a Christian? And if your behavior is turning that person away from God, then that is something we don't want, because our goal in life is to be a light in the world, to show God's love, to show who God is, to draw people more to God, as opposed to driving people away from God because of how you speak. Like, let's just imagine I'm here and I say I'm a Christian, I'm a child of God. And if you don't believe it, and if you think I'm going to hell, then F you and F everybody else, because I don't give an F about what you think. You know, that kind of behavior. It's not very welcoming, is it? I feel like that's not really Christ-like behavior. We can't control how people would react to us, because not everybody can agree on everything. It's okay. But if we can lower the friction over something that we can control, such as our speech, why would we not? Culturally speaking, being uncouth, cussing too much, saying unsavory words would be considered as uneducated behavior. Is it true that someone uneducated would always be cussing? Or is it true that educated people will not curse? No, it's not. But that is the perception people have. It is also unprofessional. So if you're able to and willing to not curse, maybe it'll be more favorable. So in reality, it's all about choice. It's all about intention. And of course you can say, well, oh, that's just who I am. This is how I speak, and I'm not gonna change myself for anybody. Nobody said you have to change yourself for anybody, but why would you say that that's who you are? Especially since that's behavior that we can change easily, right? It's just a matter of using words to convey what you mean. And so the question is really how you wish to portray yourself to the world.